Hey, 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 what's happening, my joyful people? It's Kimberly Joy Morgan of Do All Things with Joy, where health and wellness meets passion and purpose. I hope you are having an amazing start to your almost weekend right now, right? So we're getting there. And I'm coming in today to talk to you about that afternoon slump. Yeah, right? You know, that one that we always hit around 2 o'clock, between 2 and 4 o'clock each and every day. And I was walking with a friend of mine in the neighborhood, and she was kind of saying, like, I don't know why it is that I always get really tired around this time, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and want to take a nap. And I said, well, it's our body's way. We have natural rhythms and all of that. And I said, well, you know what? If you're wondering, maybe the people out there for Share the Joy are wondering, hey, Melissa, so good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. So I wanted to explain to you that we have natural sleep cycles in our body. And one of them is, of course, at night when melatonin is released. But we also have a mid-afternoon cycle, and that's from 2 to 4. And certain countries like Spain, they have siestas, right? Where you actually go for lunch, and then after lunch, you can go take a nap and then come back to work. Wouldn't that be nice, right? But that's more of hey, what's happening, Uncle John? What's happening, Francine? So good to see you. But that's what happens more like in a socialist / world, not a one where we have capitalism and it's about the money and the dollar and get it done, get it done, get it done. So here's the deal. We hit a slump around 2 and 4, and that's natural. Our body is releasing melatonin. Our temperature actually drops in our bodies, and it releases melatonin. Now, if we work for Huffington Post they have sleep pods at the office. Isn't that awesome? And so if their workers get a little bit tired, they get a chance to go, hey, Angela, so good to see you. They get a chance to go to sleep, right? So they can take a nap and come back more refreshed. They looked at the research, they understand the sleep experts and what they talk about, and they know that they're going to have a much more productive worker. So I want to help you understand that 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock slump is very natural. And that dip in the body's core temperature does release the melatonin. The next thing is about diet. So a lot of times we're coming in from eating, and most of the time we're having a sandwich with that bread. If it's a sub, we have a lot of carbs that are happening, and our body actually responds to that excess sugar in a crash. So you went from a high to a low. Now, what would better serve you is if you had more protein and fat for fuel and limit the amount of carbs. That would help you so you're not getting the sugary drink, the sweet tea if you're down south, or the sodas that have extra sugar in them. So I just want to be sure that you're aware that your diet makes a huge difference. So we want to actually burn fat for fuel and not the sugar at that point in time. So avoiding, what happens is we usually go for that cup of coffee, or that, I don't want to name a brand, but the designer coffees, and they have a lot of sugar in them, or we'll have a Snickers bar, or we'll go and do something, eat pop Skittles or do something like that because we want that quick energy, but it actually has more of a detrimental effect on our energy level. So maybe having a piece of avocado toast or a handful of nuts will actually provide you with the sustainable energy that your body needs so that time frame does not dip. And then finally, I want to explain something a little more scientific. And this comes from, and I'm going to pull the quote up because I don't want to misquote someone or their thought. But this is from Dr. Joan Vercanos from NASA Life Science Division. And she talks about the key of how we interact with gravity is very important. So a lot of times we are actually sitting at our desks, especially if we have desk jobs, for hours on end, and we do not stand up. So your body actually needs to stand up. Use your smartwatch, use your phone, whatever you need, set an alarm, and make sure you stand up and walk around just for a minute. It doesn't have to be a long time, but what that does, it actually, the way our bodies respond to gravity functions with something called the lipoprotein lipase is dramatically reduced during inactivity. So lipoprotein Lipase basically is an enzyme that attaches to the fat in the bloodstream. So an enzyme that attaches to fat in bloodstream, and this transports it to the muscles for food and energy. But if you don't stand up, it will not attach and will not do what it needs to do in order to move that fat, those fat cells through the body. So we tend to pack on more pounds, and you cannot understand the detrimental effect, and I may talk about this in another Share the Joy, of how many hours we're sitting at our desk and the effects that it's having on our heart and our lungs and our bodies in general. So if you can just do 3 things, think about, it's natural that you feel a little bit of a slump, so don't think something's wrong with you. Number 2, think about eating at a different time, okay? Or not to say eating at different, but eating different types of food, and at the time that you eat it, looking at having more fat, and then standing up and walking around. So if you can take that nap in the middle of the day and you need it, go for it. It's good for your body. Half hour will do a body good, 20 minutes, okay? If not, then go ahead, eat the right foods, and stand up and walk around. But it's natural to have that 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock slump. So I hope this was helpful for you. I hope that you share the joy with someone else as to the reasons why this is the case. I know I learned about the gravity thing. I love researching and finding out new information. That's why I do this. So it helps me become a better health coach. And I want to make sure that everyone also knows that I'm doing Gut Check 21, starting next Friday. It'll be the 5th of October. So next Friday, a week from today, is the last day that you can sign up for the program. This is teaching you how to eat. It's teaching about detoxing with whole foods and detoxing your life from some of the outside factors as well that contribute to poor health. So I hope that you join me. You basically are gaining a health coach for life, where you get to talk to me live on calls each and every week when we do these live programs. And I've been doing it since 2015. So trust me when I say those who signed up years ago are benefiting from it, because once you sign up, you never have to pay again. So I hope that you consider it, share the joy with your friends, and I will see you this time next week. And remember to do all things with joy and share the joy. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.